Well, good morning. Happy Wednesday to you. Sal Capano here, reporting on the latest updates, particularly in Nevada. Uh, if you're new to my channel, consider yourself hitting the subscribe button now and joining my channel for the most up-to-date unemployment and PUA stimulus checks. Very, very accurate. I just enjoy doing this. And if you're new, if you've been subscribing to my channel, well, welcome back. I got some news some breaking news and some other news I want to bring up to you. There's a couple different things I want to talk about this morning. By the way, in case you're wondering, today's Italian coffee. Yesterday was Puerto Rican coffee. We want from me. Today's Italian coffee. My opinion, they're both very good. I think the Italian's a little bit better. My wife's probably saying, what about the Puerto Rican? I want to talk about our little episode last night. My wife, we both run two small businesses here. We've been in small business now. I've been in small business for 30 some years here in Nevada. So she applied, she noticed that her business license, people, this is very important, pay attention. Her business license, she was just looking up at her salon, her hair salon, and just was, something's got to be due this month. And it was due last month. Her business, Clark County state business license that we pay. Most of us $200 a year. Some of us pay $500. So if you're a tattoo artist, a hair salon, personal trainer, maybe you were a dancer in one of the strip clubs, you have to pay a business license. Okay. And then after one day late, they charge $100. 100. Now, we're in a pandemic. First of all, she went ahead. First of all, it took about 40 minutes. Their website takes you to another. It was a nightmare. And people, I'm pretty good on getting stuff done. It was a nightmare until we finally figured it out. And we paid for it. It bothered me so much. You know me by now. A lot of you've been subscribing for me almost a year now. It bothered me so much. It's not so much they're charging $100 to my wife, but $100 each person. I said, I asked her, I go, hon, did you get anything in the mail? Stay with me. I didn't get anything in the mail. I said, boy, I think mine's coming up too. Nothing comes in the mail anymore. So I call them up and I speak to this lady, Susie. By the way, it's not her fault. I won't use her last name. And I said, she let me listen. She let me listen. Enough coffee. She let me talk. And I said, why don't you, they're not notifying you anymore? It was a postcard. It looks like the registration you get every year for your vehicle. She says, no, you have to go to your portal and hit on subscribe. Whoa. Got to go onto your portal. You're not going to remind us. Now, a lot of people are probably saying, it's your responsibility. But it is our responsibility to keep track of this stuff. I'm not asking for a free. But here's the deal. Send it out in the mail. Send it out in the mail. Or send an email. They have our emails when we file. To add $100 in a pandemic, and think about this, people. Think about this. Operations haven't even been open. She's only been operating a business last year 3 months out of a fucking year, and they're gonna charge people. How about reduce it, right? Just how about reduce it? Just like where I pay my rent to the clubs. How about give people a chance? That's what's wrong with our world. How about waive the late charges? And again, it's not this lady's fault. She's just answering the phone nice enough to hear her. But here's the deal. She said, if you have a complaint, call Mr. Steve Sisolak, our governor here in Nevada. She's telling me to call him. Huh. Well, don't worry. We're talking about Sal Capano here. And I'm telling you, it makes me, before I was wondering, some people want me to get involved with politics, city council maybe. Now it really makes me get involved. How could you have a heart? What is wrong with this guy? Huh? To charge $100, save on mail and not mail out this stuff. Just another way for them to make another buck, to get their money. The poor people still haven't gotten their unemployment. Horrible situation. So we paid it. But don't worry. I will make sure, people, I will fight for you. So now, if you run in a business, maybe you haven't operated your business. Maybe you were a dancer at one of the strip clubs. Maybe you were walking down the street taking photos. Personal trainer like myself. Maybe you were doing nails. Tattoo artist. Anything like that. Uber and Lyft. Now, Uber and Lyft, you get a reminder. Because I did a little Lyft there back in the day. And they get a little reminder when your stuff is due. But pay attention to this stuff, people. Because there's zero tolerance. But Sal Capano will fight for you on this one. Don't worry. Scott's honor. I will fight. Now, I got something else I got to fight with. Again, it's not the $100. $100, thousands of people running a business. Sorry, that should not go down. That was horrible. So, Steve Sislak, you should be surprised yourself. If somebody out there watching my video who knows him, share the video. What kind of person is he? He wants to get reelected in the next couple of years. There's no way. After what happened with the unemployment, and now people haven't even been operating a business even 3/4 of a year. It should be reduced, and then to add a late charge. How any other time charge late charge, charge $200 late charge, whatever. But to nail people because it wasn't our. All right, enough with that. So I want to talk about. Excuse me. I want to talk about the people that for PUA who are filing appeal. Um, you filed an appeal. A lot of them they're getting to. Again, if you file an appeal, they're just getting to those. If say you filed an appeal back in June, they're just starting to finally get to them. Just reporting the news. Unbelievable. But the good news is they are getting to them, and you should get a letter in your portal, in your email, in your deeder, and it should say, yes, they agreed to it, or what more information they need. The way I understand, they're not turning down many unless there was some kind of fraud involved or you falsified information on there. And I'm hoping that anybody in my community has not done that. So they are getting to those. Now, on the next stimulus, I'm hearing a lot of stuff now that Joe Biden, I said this in my previous video, he wants to try to do a standalone. Now, it's still early in the game, people, but he's really considering on the forgetting the extra $1,400 now. So things have changed, and he wants to get both the Senate and the House together and send out $2,000 to every person. Now, when I say every person, he has to make it clear. It's still relatively premature. Will he give it to each child? Or will he give it to kids that are in college? Because I don't think kids who go to college should suffer. That was wrong in my opinion. That was another big mistake, but I'm not gonna get to that much. But so it's being stirred in that soup there. So he is talking about that and extending unemployment. When I did my video yesterday, I did some reading and research, and I did find some reliable sources in news and stuff and tweets or information from the Biden administration. So that was the first thing he wanted to do, and he wanted to do it in his first 100 days. And if they didn't come into his first 100 days, then he was going to do the standalone bill and just go ahead and do a standalone bill. So that much I did find out. Also, people, unfortunately, on the rental assistance, there's nothing to go on, but I did find out a little bit more information on that. You have to contact your state, and then there's a waiting list. I don't agree, I'm just reporting it. So there's a little waiting list. So you and your tenant both must apply for their rental assistance. I wanted to talk a little about the SNAP program. That's one of the easiest things. People call. Do not be embarrassed. If you're operating a business, we're 25% capacity here in Nevada. I know a lot of states like California not even open. And then some states are wide open like Florida and Utah. But apply for it. It's temporary. It puts food on your table. So you let them know, particularly people out there, listen, pay attention. If you haven't received a dime for unemployment, or maybe only a little bit, they don't calculate all that unemployment. So it should be easy. So if it's you and your spouse, and one of you's unemployment, or both of you's unemployment, and maybe one of you's gotten unemployment, you only calculate what you got. It's just taking a photo of the income, and you might be eligible for 3 months. So get into your SNAP. That's food. If you have kids, it could be more. So you're a taxpayer. You paid for this. It wasn't your choice that your business has slowed down, okay, or your work has slowed down. So apply for SNAP and apply for utilities and electric and gas. Those two that I know for sure they're helping out. Okay, I want to talk about taxes. People, on a stimulus check that we just got, the $600, okay, in 2020. They sent it out before the new year, and the other one we got for $1,200. 1,000,000,000%. You do not have to pay taxes on that. Okay? I'm telling you, no taxes on that. If you lived in Canada, but we don't live in Canada. They're making, and I'm not knocking my Canadian friends, but if you live in Canada, they are making you pay back the stimulus bill. Oof, I don't even want to get on that. So They're giving it, and then they're taking it back on your taxes. You don't have to claim it. However, if you collect unemployment, even if you hit 10%, like myself when I was collecting, even if you hit the 10% of taxes coming out, you still gotta add that income to your income. That's taxable income, unemployment. I'm talking about poor and regular unemployment, 10%. So if you made 20,000 unemployment, well, that would be your income. Now, I'm not a CPA, um, but contact, your tax advisors know about it. You can't hold anything from them, so you have to add that. So, but a lot of you weren't working or shouldn't have been working, only working part time, right? So, you know, it's probably going to be very close on what you know, but there's going to be a lot of write offs this year with this pandemic. I mean, you name it. There's stuff out there to probably be able to write this, my hat off. I mean, there's depending what you do for a living. So, so with unemployment, you do have to even, well, Sal, I'm taking my 10%. Now, for those who are not taking the 10% out of your unemployment, then it might be a little, then you have to claim the whole amount. So if you're taking 10% out, it's 10%, say of 20,000, 10% less than the 10% you would pay in your income, but you have to claim that money. Okay. Stimulus, no. Unemployment, yes. Okay. So they should be sending the information of what was calculated real soon, I would assume. I know a lot of people have appointments coming up. Mine's not until February, but I would assume that real soon in your portal they'll have, just like if you drive Lyft or Uber, or if you're self-employed, you figure out your totals, you have some time. So, but just be ready to have to claim that. Okay. Now, let's say for some crazy reason they owe you $30,000 in unemployment. You haven't gotten it. Well, Sal, do I have to claim it? I haven't got it. No, you don't have to claim it. You only claim money that you receive. So if you haven't received it yet, then you sit down and you haven't received it, right? It's still pending. So, you know, so if you haven't received it, you will have to claim it next year. So if just because it shows that it's processing, it has to be into the bank institution. Hopefully I made that clear. So you don't have to claim it if you haven't received. I'm getting some questions on that, okay? You only claim what you receive, okay? Stimulus, no. Unemployment, yes. But again, I wouldn't be too worried, people. This was a pandemic year, and it should be plenty write-offs. So, but just be prepared, okay, if you're in that different tax bracket, okay? I think I covered it all, but it really pissed me off there with that business license. Share your comments on what you think, and if you do have a business license, just be prepared that they're going to probably hit you with the $100 late fee. But let me know, please, if you're one of those people out there and you're in my situation or my wife's situation, please let me know, because I will be in a meeting on this Friday, and that will be on my, it wasn't going to be on my topic, but now it's going to be on the top of my agenda. It upsets me. People, I'm getting a lot of people with, Sal, you should run. I'm considering it. It's a lot of hiccups on the way. You got to have people out there who want to contribute, and so, but I really just enjoy fighting, and fighting when you should have to fight. I clap my hands when they do things right, like with the unemployment. I thought they came in real strong this time. A lot of people say, well, they should have had to the last two times with the lost wage and original pool. They didn't have to, but they did. And I clap my hands. But on this one here, what kind of individual is Mr. Steve Sisolak on doing this? He should have his team on there and saying, let's adjust. How about we give them a break this year and pay, just let them notify us when the business, he knows he's the one who closed down the business for three or four fucking months, right? And now he wants to charge people. Breaking news here. I got somebody writing the news. Sal Capano, I'm trying to get in touch with. So yeah, sorry people, some of these people want to get together and talk about what I'm talking about right now, considering the business license. People say, well, Sal, just let it go. No, I don't let stuff go, because you got to fight when it's right, in a right and proper way. And this one, he's wrong on. Also, too, let's really start supporting our small businesses, people. Really do. I know times are rough, but and I'm not saying go to your large corporations, but if maybe you need something dry clean, maybe you're in the mood for a pizza, and these people, go there and support these people. Support, if you're a cigar smoker like I am, and a lot of you who are on there, let's support them. Maybe you can get a couple dollars cheaper online. But let's try to. This is important, really is, people, to support these local small mom and pops. They really starving for business, and brings up to my next detail real quickly. Excuse me, the PPP. That portal is up. That's the good news. Oh, I'm glad I just thought about that real quick, and I'm almost done here. However, they're making it a little bit more difficult this time. Last time it was the grant, PPP money was for the grant. Like I got $1,000 from sole provider, no employees. Um, if you had some employees, it was more money, right? It was pretty, wouldn't say easy, but easier. Now they're requiring more documentations and the zip code where you operate your business. Is it a low income? Is it a high income? Where are they getting that at? I'm just reading the news, people. So they're making it a little bit more difficult for that. But that is up and running. As soon as I know about the rental assistance, like I said, they're trying to make that more difficult. So, people, that's all I have right now. I'm off to take care of a client. Okay, I have a client in town, and just it's my pleasure to take care of him and very important client who I used to train before, and help him out a little bit with just my pleasure and just no charge. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm giving back a little something today. So in an hour of excuse me, sorry, enjoying putting him through a nice tough workout. We want from me. So I'm going to be doing that today. Say hello to somebody. Okay. It's very important. Okay. Tomorrow's another day. I will see you probably later this afternoon with some more updates on news, trending news, and what's happening and what direction and the impeachment and this and that. Okay. Turn off Fox. Turn off CNN. Turn off the other ones. Come to Sal Capano. Huh? All right, everybody take care.